You're watching Good Day Siouxland with Nick Wilson and meteorologist Ethan Foreman. From KCAU 9 News, this is Good Day Siouxland.
Good morning, it's 6:46 on this Monday morning. I'm Nick Wilson.
And I'm Ethan Foreman.
And we're off to a decent start for this week.
Yeah, not too bad. Just still seeing some fog out there, but no dense fog advisories, so that's good news. But still seeing some patchy, icy spots out there. On our Ho-Chunk Center camera, seeing quiet morning out there. Visibility has improved from last hour, but still seeing some fog across the region. Temperatures kind of all over the place right now at 30 in both Storm Lake and Wayne, 32 in Neely, but down to 17 in Canton, 24 split down the middle in Sioux City. Those visibilities are reduced in parts of the area. Looks like Woodbury County and also Harrison County are the worst of it. Most of the bigger or the more denser fog rather is outside of our viewing area to the south, and those road conditions still seeing some partially covered roads across the area. I'll have more details coming up in your full forecast in less than 5 minutes.
Thanks, Ethan. Well, a mix of falling demand and rising oil costs have led prices at the pump to stay pretty stagnant in recent weeks. The national average price for a gallon of regular gas is up by less than a cent this morning at $3.10. That's up 3 cents from last Monday and down 2 cents from this time last month. In Nebraska, drivers looking to fill up today can expect to see an average price of $2.83 a gallon. South Dakota is not far behind at $2.80, while Iowa drivers can expect to pay about $2.75 a gallon. Meanwhile, fans of the musical arts had an opportunity to watch and listen to a piece of history. Listeners gathered at the National Music Museum in Vermilion, kicking off their new year of the NMM Live Concert Series. Spectators listened to the sounds of the Rollins Piano Trio, which is made up of a pianist, violinist, and cellist. The cello used at yesterday's show was given to the museum this past Friday. It was made in 1772. That makes it a 252-year-old instrument. We spoke with the museum's director about why it's not only important to display this piece of history, but also just as important to let its music be heard.
The donor really wants these instruments to be played and they're still in playable condition. And then as an extension of that then is the education of the students. So we can put it in the hands of faculty and guest artists, but also have the students try out so they understand the historicity of it, they understand performance practice, and they can sort of put it all together.
If you want to go and see the new collection of stringed instruments, the museum is located on the University of South Dakota campus, and it's open Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturday from noon to 4. Well, now it's time to meet today's Stray of the Day. Every day we share a pet picked up by Sioux City Animal Adoption and Rescue, who's waiting to go home.
That's right, and this is Kelsey, a 1 to 2 year old male Russian blue mix cat. He was found on the 4000 block of Harrison Street. The rescue says he's a big guy with an even bigger heart. He has a lot of energy and loves to play, but also enjoys taking some time to snuggle. Kelsey is available for adoption now.
If you've lost your pet, you're looking to adopt, or you'd like to sponsor a pet for adoption, you can visit the rescue's website at SiouxCityAnimalRescue.com. Kelsey sure looks like a great cat.
Yeah, definitely looks very friendly and very playful too.
Absolutely, and these temperatures, not exactly the worst if you want to play outside.
Yeah, definitely. Just be careful with those icy spots out there, but otherwise should be pretty decent week out there. Satellite and radar shows not a whole lot going on. We do have some clouds on the way later on today, but that won't come until this evening. What you see off to the east, that's not necessarily cloud cover, that's actually fog. That's why it dissipates as it moves to the east. We do see some more clouds up to the north later on this afternoon, though. That will start to move our way. There could be a brief shower, sprinkle, or maybe even a flurry or patch of freezing drizzle with this later on this evening, but it is very short-lived if we see that at all. Then we just see cloud cover for our eastern areas tonight into Tuesday. Western areas are going to see some more clearing, so they're going to get cooler at night and warmer during the day. Eastern areas are going to stay a little bit cooler for Tuesday. Those clouds start to burn off into Tuesday night and Wednesday, but some lingering fog is not impossible into Wednesday morning. Your forecast shows that we're going to be seeing those temperatures drop a little bit for Tuesday, but otherwise pretty stagnant into the mid-40s for Wednesday and Thursday. Plenty of sunshine, great days to get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather to end the month of January and start the month of February. We're going to continue to melt that snow away as we see those highs remain right around 40 degrees from Groundhog Day all the way through the middle of next week. Looks like there could be some precip beyond that and maybe even temperatures getting closer to 50 degrees.
All right, thanks, Ethan. Now we turn to sports, where we now know which two NFL teams are big game bound as the NFC and AFC championships went down over the weekend. Noah Sacco has the highlights from those penultimate games and more right here in your morning sports wrap.
Good morning, Siouxland. Just 4 NFL teams were left standing into Conference Championship Day yesterday, with all eyes on Super Bowl 58 in Vegas as the reigning champion Chiefs aimed to defend their crown yesterday, taking on the Ravens in the AFC title game. And it was a packed house in Baltimore, as you can imagine. First quarter, Patrick Mahomes looking back shoulder for Travis Kelce, and they connect. 11 catches for Taylor Swift's boyfriend. What a grab. 7-0 KC. They lead 17-7 at half. Huge play in the fourth quarter now. Ravens about to score. Lamar Jackson to Zay Flowers, dives in, but the ball pops loose. KC recovers. Snead forcing the fumble. Chiefs holding on from there. KC is going back to the Super Bowl for the 4th time in the last 5 years. 17-10 over Baltimore. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce couldn't be happier. NFC Championship now. Former Cyclone Brock Purdy and the 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions. Niners aiming for their 8th Super Bowl trip. Lions there first, and the Lions come roaring out of the tunnel. Former Cyclone David Montgomery in from a few yards out. 14-0 Detroit. Third quarter, now 24-10. Purdy going deep off the face mask of the Lions defender and into the hands of Brandon Ayuk. Down at the 4. Unbelievable play. That's a gain of 51 yards. 3 plays later, Purdy looking again to Ayuk, and the connection working again. This time a touchdown. It's 24-17 now. After Lions fumble, Christian McCaffrey powering into the end zone. Just like that, we are all tied up at 24. From there, San Fran gets the lead on a field goal and an Elijah Mitchell touchdown to extend their lead to 10. Lions do get a late touchdown, but it was too little too late as George Kittle, Mr. Relevant, Brock Purdy, and the 49ers are headed to the Super Bowl. 34-31. Going to be a 2020 Super Bowl rematch with KC. Some GPAC hoops trickling over yesterday as Briarcliff hosted Hastings for a matinee doubleheader, starting with the Charger woman, who aimed to end the week over 500 following Saturday's bounce-back win over Mount Marty. Got a tight one brewing late. Chargers trailing 52-51 with under 9 minutes to go. They had a response incoming. Peyton Slaughter driving and kicking it out to the Oakley Craig product. Kennedy Benny beats the buzzer for 3. Benny with 13 points to put BC up by 2. Connor Sudman adding to it with a short jumper moments later. Senior passes the 2,000 career points mark yesterday and in top 4 all-time in program history. Broncos, though, galloping back. Miriam Miller shifts the momentum with the tray. 60-58 Hastings. Miller goes back for more, slicing through the Charger D for the bucket off the glass. She at 17 as Hastings outscores Briarcliff 21-12 in the final quarter. Charger comeback falling just short, 71-63. And to the men now, Briarcliff's Matthew Stillwell and Hastings' Reggie Thomas, the top 2 scorers in the GPAC. Home team charging ahead in the first half. Will Luger the cut and the one-handed slam. Cherokee alum had 11, 5-3 Briarcliff. Broncos, though, going to work the other way. Tyreek McMurrin backing down. Turnaround baby hook is true, but here comes Stillwell soon after. He's got a full head of steam in transition. Somehow lays it in through contact. The senior, and with 11 points in this one, Chargers ahead by 4. And then the downpour from downtown begins. Colby Collison buries the 3 ball. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Collison spotting up from the other wing soon after. Money. Back-to-back 3 balls for the freshman as Briarcliff topples the conference leader for a huge win. 73-65 over Hastings. Now to check it sports. Have a great day, Siouxland.
Now let's take a look at this morning's top stories, what you need to know before you go. With quite a bit of melting expected in the week ahead, there's some things Siouxlanders should keep in mind if they plan to travel on unpaved rural roads. The melt and refreeze cycle can lead to dangerous conditions on the region's gravel and dirt roads. Ridges can build up alongside wheel tracks, and there's also the potential for the road to get muddy and harder for tires to grip onto. All this can lead to drivers sliding off the road or getting stuck. It's better to stick to paved roads to get to your destination if you can. Otherwise, it's important to make sure someone knows where you're going and bring a charged phone with you in case you get stuck and need to call for help. And meanwhile, another legislative week will get underway today in all three Siouxland states. In Nebraska, a bill has been introduced that aims to address the child care shortage in the state. It would cover 100% of child care costs for child care professionals with young kids if they work for a licensed child care facility at least 20 hours a week. That's regardless of their household income. A similar idea passed in Kentucky in 2022. That led to an additional 3,200 child care workers to begin working in that state. If Nebraska sees a proportional impact, then the bill would add an estimated 2,100 new workers to the industry. Meanwhile, if child care shortage continues to be a focus for state legislators in South Dakota, two new bills have been introduced in the state Senate. Senate Bill 125 would send $250,000 to the South Dakota Department of Social Services to conduct a study. That study would analyze the cost of child care in different areas of the state and compare different child care options. The second bill, Senate Bill 133, would allow future political candidates in the state with young children to use campaign funds for child care services. Another bill introduced in the South Dakota State Legislature would bring an end to capital punishment in the Rushmore state. Senate Bill 109 would remove the death penalty for crimes committed in South Dakota starting July 1st. Democratic State Senator Reynold Nasiba introduced the bill. He says he believes capital punishment is expensive and does not serve as an effective deterrent against crime. A Republican state senator has also sponsored the bill. The bill has been referred to the South Dakota Senate Judiciary Committee, but has not had a hearing date set yet. Finally, in the Hawkeye State, Iowa Secretary of State Paul Pate has introduced a bill that could reportedly limit challenges to former President Donald Trump's eligibility for the 2024 ballot. The legislative proposal comes amid efforts in several states to remove Trump from the ballot by citing Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution's 14th Amendment that prevents individuals from holding state or federal office again if they have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. According to the bill's text, Pate's proposal seeks to limit the grounds for challenging all federal candidates, including those running for president and Congress, to questions about age, residency, citizenship, and whether their nominating papers meet all those legal requirements. Well, one last look at the forecast. We have a nice day later on, don't we?
Yeah, nice week. In fact, really not going to see a whole lot of activity going on across the region. 42 for that high today, mostly sunny and pleasant. Those winds switching from the southwest to the northwest could gust up to 25 miles per hour later, but not too bad otherwise. Then we see partly cloudy skies tonight as we see another cold front move through. That will briefly drop our temperatures as we see some patchy fog across the region once again, but not expecting dense fog advisories at this time. We see those highs climb back into the 40s for Wednesday and Thursday, mid 40s. In fact, with a good deal of sunshine, not really a whole lot going on after that either, as we stay pretty stagnant between about 40 and 42 degrees for highs and lows between about 27 and 31. We do see a small chance of a rain shower coming our way Friday night or Saturday, but right now looking very minimal at best.
Some nice warm conditions overall. Looking like a fairly dry week.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for watching. KCAU 9 News returned at 11:30. Have a great rest of your morning.